Well, all right. We have breaking news here as quarterback of the Carolina Panthers, Bryce Young, is no longer starting quarterback, backup quarterback. And it's a weird way this went down because yesterday, after the bad performance, Dave Canales was asked would he consider a quarterback change, to which Canales said, Bryce is our quarterback. We're going to continue to shore up and fix the things we need to do fundamentally from a scheme standpoint. So he kind of just put the rumors to bed, said, no, Bryce Young is our quarterback. This is what we're doing. All of a sudden today, it's now been announced that that is no longer the case. And you have to wonder a couple of things. For one thing, I wonder if maybe it's just, I think the best, the most optimistic way you could view this is let's say they simply just thought about it more. Canales thought about it more and said, you know what? I got to make a change here. You could also, I think, question, did the call come from upstairs? Whether it was general manager Dan Morgan or owner David Tepper. Did someone come in and say, we got to make a move here? Or maybe Canales simply just didn't want to make this decision without consulting the other people. While Canales is the, on paper, he's the guy who should have the decision to make here. Not every organization runs that way. But either way, I think from Canales' perspective, this is kind of a move you have to make. I mean, if things go horribly again, we just saw Frank Reich, he was out of a job before he even got to the end of a season. He didn't even get a full year with the Carolina Panthers. So, when there's a quick trigger on head coaches, well, that means you have to have a quick trigger on other stuff. So I get why Canales is making the move. Andy Dalton is a very capable backup and should help out the Panthers a little bit. Now, for Bryce Young, I mean, it's a crazy situation. You think about the trade. I saw that Adam Schefter tweeted out what the trade was, which is it's mean. It's a mean thing to do, I think. But he tweets out, it was DJ Moore along with a couple first-round picks, which were Darnell Wright and then Caleb Williams, also Tyreek Stevenson, a second-round pick. And the Panthers don't even have their second-round pick of this year, which very well might be a top 40 pick. Probably will be a top 40 pick in this draft class. The Bears get that one as well. A lot of resources to give up for a player who so far hasn't looked great in Bryce Young and has now been benched. Of course, it has to be mentioned that if this trade did work out, if they drafted CJ Stroud, I don't think anyone's complaining about the amount of talent they gave up, right? They thought they were getting a star quarterback. It just didn't happen. And again, a lot of revisionist history is going to happen. Bryce Young was the consensus number one quarterback. I did like Stroud a little better, but I don't know anyone who hated Bryce Young or thought Bryce Young was a bad prospect. Usually there was people that were kind of team Stroud or team Young, but it was usually 1A and 1B. So really kind of shocking how poorly this has gone for Bryce Young. But yeah, I mean, an interesting decision by Dave Canales. And one thing I thought of, there's a lot of arguments for why you make this move. You don't want to lose the locker room. Canales wants to keep his job, right? All that stuff. Another, I think, important thing to talk about here is you just want to see what else you have on this roster. You made all these moves, got all these different players. At a certain point, let's just get a 15 game sample size of the rest of the unit, right? I think after Bryce Young's first game, I said, well, not a great first game, but you have the rest of the season. What else are you doing this year? Might as well see what you have in him. But after this went poorly as well, I think it's fair to say it's okay, if we waste all of this season just being really, really sure that Bryce Young isn't very good, then what have we gained here? What have we accomplished? Because now we have no idea the rest of this roster. At least here you could say, okay, maybe our receiving core is okay, but maybe this, needs to be shored up, right? You can kind of get a baseline for everything else. So I like the move by Canales. I think it's a smart decision, and we'll see how well it works. I don't know if this makes the Panthers great all of a sudden, but I do think it makes the Panthers better. So yeah, kind of a crazy situation for Bryce Young. The consensus first overall pick is now benched after just barely over one season. Pretty crazy stuff. But yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.